Hi there, I'm super excited for this. Today we are going to learn portrait retouch. This has become super easy with new version of Adobe Photoshop. We are going to use one special neural filter and two amazing Photoshop tools. This is Sumit from Sumit Photo World. If you are new here, welcome to this channel. Please subscribe this. If you have been here before, make sure you give the video a like to support the new content. Okay, let's get into it. We are in Lightroom and I just want to show you the minimal settings I've done on this image because before going to Photoshop you should make sure that you have corrected colors and contrast in Lightroom or something like software, and then we can move forward to the Photoshop for complete retouch. So let me show you the settings I've done. I've just adjusted the contrast a little bit. I've done the same with blacks, you can see texture and vibrance and saturation. So only these settings I've adjusted, and this is the image I got after all those adjustments. And you can see I have blemishes here, so which we need to fix it in Photoshop. And I also refine the hairs edges, you can see. So we need to fix, we can easily do it in the Photoshop. I'll show you the complete process how we are going to work with. Let me open this image in the Photoshop, and for this we just need to right click on the image thumbnail and select edit in Photoshop. So here it's showing Adobe Photoshop 2022, and in your computer you could have any different version of Photoshop and it will show the same like this. Now we are in magical world of Photoshop, and before doing any skin enhancement, make sure you remove the blemishes first, and for this we are going to use spot healing tool. And to select the tool we just need to press J key on the keyboard and you'll see that tool is selected here. We could also use healing brush tool, but that is just for the purpose if you want to select the sample on your own, and if you want to do this more quickly, I should advise you to use spot healing brush tool if you are new to this editing world. And what it will do, it will just use the content aware type and it is going to select the sample with the intelligence used in the Adobe Photoshop, and that's really giving you better result if you are new to the editing world. So make sure just start to work with spot healing tool, and once you are comfortable you can experiment with the healing brush tool also. And for this we are just going to work on this layer, and we should create a copy of a background layer first because we want to save the details of the background layer just to make sure that if we need any details from the base we can get it anytime. And for doing this I'm just going to drag this image on the new layer icon button. You can see it's a copy is created. We could also use Ctrl J is the shortcut for creating copy of a selected layer. When you are working with spot healing tool or healing brush tool, make sure you are working on empty layer, and I'll show you why it is required. But before that we are going to create one empty layer, and we'll just rename this layer as remove blemish. And when you are working with the color image, sometimes it's difficult to find blemish. Even if we zoom, you can see it's very difficult to identify the blemishes. So it's better to convert this image in the black and white. We are not going to convert it. We are using adjustment layer, and we'll select black and white. To make the blemishes visible, we'll just reduce the reds here, and sometimes it's depends on the skin tone. If it's fair we have to reduce yellow also, but just need to match it that you're able to see the blemishes clearly. And sometimes we need to raise blues. Now we are going to start our work on empty layer. So make sure the remove blemish layer is selected. Just see how easy it will be. And this is the most interesting part when we are working in Photoshop. It's just giving feeling of we are doing painting. So when you see scars or natural birthmark on the skin, make sure you are very careful around it, because we want to make this portrait look as natural as possible. You can just press the space bar on the keypad and it'll select. It'll let you just enable the hand, and you can just move the image. It is going to take some time now. Even we can just this out. Yeah, that's it. I'm just going to do this very quickly, just to spare your time. Whenever you are working on the skin retouch, make sure you are not touching the birthmarks. So they should look as they are, and we are not going to touch it. So we have completed the removal of blemishes. We'll just press Ctrl 0, and so this is the image we have. After removing all the blemishes, we can check how the blemishes, from where, which spots the blemish is removed. Just hide the bottom layers and you'll see. So that much work we have done on this image. Now we have completed our work for blemish removal, and we can just remove this adjustment layer now. The black and white adjustment layer we have created, we can just drag it and put it on delete button, and you can see we still have the image intact and there is no problem with this image. So we can easily remove that adjustment layer, that there is no impact of it. And now we have to work on second part. We have to give a haircut. So it means we have to clean the hair around the hairlines, you can see. So we have to just clean it, and we are going to use clone tool for that. And let me just close this tab group. Now we can easily see. And for clone tool, we can just select clone tool by pressing S key on the keypad, and clone tool will be selected. So This is the clone tool, clone stamp tool we have. And we are going to work on new layer for clone tool. We'll just give this layer a name. Better give it clone. So clone work, we are going to work on this new layer. Whenever you are working with clone tool, we have to take sample, and sample should be around the part where you are going to do cloning. And for this, we just need to press Alt key. And make the brush size little larger. We can press bracket key on the keypad just to adjust the brush size, and we can just start painting. You can zoom into the image just to make sure we are working around edges. You can press the space bar and it will enable the hand, and you can easily move the image. And we'll take the sample around here. So always try to take sample around the area where you are doing cloning, so it will just mix the color well. So I'm going to speed up this work. Have to just take sample again. Just be careful that colors are mixing well. That's it. And when you're working around edges like this, we have to just reduce the brush size. We'll just zoom in. And we'll take sample again. And we just missed to fix this. We could have easily fixed it in the blemish using spot healing. We'll just select the remove blemish and just press J on the keyboard, and we just reduce the brush size. And that's it. Done. And now we have completed both part. We have fixed here and we have removed the blemishes. So let me just press Ctrl 0 and I'll show you. So this is the clone work what we have done, and these are the blemishes we have cleared. So now we have image ready, and just to make sure, we'll create one top layer of which will be merged copy of these layers, so it'll give us good effect in the final retouch when we are using the neural filter. And for this we are just going to press Ctrl Alt Shift E, and once it's done, we just need to go to filter, neural filter. In neural filters we have special filter there for doing our work, and it is going to make our work super easy, and you'll be surprised to see the result. We have skin smoothing filter here. This is the neural filter. We have to just enable it, and by default you can see it's having blur effect in the middle, so that is something which is going to give us good effect. We can easily manipulate it, but in the default setting it's really giving us good result. And I believe that will be fine for us. As soon as we get this effect, you will see the appearance completely changed. And what we can do here, we have to just notice the part which we where we do not want the effect, like the lens we do not want the effect, and maybe on the hand also we do not want that effect. So we have to make sure that we are going to clear it. And when we are taking the output of it, we have to output into new layer. So we are not going to do this change on the existing selected layer. We are going to create one new layer. So we have to just press OK. So you can see one new layer created, and if we deselect this, you can see the difference. It's amazing. Let me zoom in. You can see the quality of it. You can see the quality of it. Yeah. So this is without filter. This is with filter, and we are just getting some effect on the lens. We do not want it. To remove the effect from lens, we have to create one mask for this layer, and we just need to select this layer and click on the mask icon, mask button we have. So add layer mask will add one white mask on the layer, and to get the details from the below layer, we have to just paint it with black on the white mask. And we can press D key if any other color selected already. And to paint with brush using black color, we have to just press X key, and it'll just swap the color. You can see there is a shortcut B. So all tool having the shortcuts defined there. So if you press B, we have brush tool selected, and you also make sure that only soft round brush is selected there. And for flow, we could have easily 100%. That's not a problem for us, because we are going to remove all the we can say we want all the details from the bottom layer, so we can let it be on the 100%. That's not a problem. And we'll just reduce the brush size. We can use it, the bracket key. Yeah. You can see the details coming up. Really easy. First of all, whenever you are working image like this, and where we want to get the details from the bottom layer, and try to paint it around edges. We'll just paint it around edge. Now to make our work more quick, we have a shortcut. We have to press Alt key and select the mask, and we can paint it here now. So we have boundary set up, so we can easily paint it inside that. Increase the brush size. There is some part in the middle of that, so we'll just paint it out. You can see. Yeah, that's it. And to get it back, we just need to press Alt key again and select the mask. And if you want to see what are the selections we have, we can just hold the Control key and select the mask again. You will get the complete selection mask, that where we have done the painting. So that's the area where we completed the work, and we can just go to select, deselect it, and we have a shortcut for that also, Control D. So that's what we have done. We should follow some professional photographers for inspirations. And let me introduce Joanna. She's an amazing portrait photographer from Poland, and you could follow her work on Instagram. Congratulations, we have successfully completed this portrait retouch work. We have used one neural filter, skin smoothing, and two Photoshop tools, spot healing brush and clone tool. Now we left with two questions: why we could not skip spot healing brush tool when we are using neural filter for skin smoothing, and why we need to work on empty layer when we working with spot healing brush and clone tool. Answer to question number one: we could not skip spot healing brush tool because it works differently than neural filter skin smoothing. Spot healing brush tool works well on texture, so when we have textures like blemishes or big spots on skin, we use spot healing brush. Skin smoothing neural filter will use blur effect to make skin look smooth. Answer to question number two: we need to work on empty layer when we are using spot healing brush or clone tool because it is non-destructive way of post-processing. We can easily recover details using eraser tool, so never add it directly on the image. With this note, we have completed this video, and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.